Today, I have Laurence, and who's going to tell us a little bit about her history with the organization, the work she was about to do, and what she wants to do to continue delivering services to the kids of in the Inglewood community. Alrighty, so good morning, Laurence. How are you today?
Hi, how are you doing, Carlos?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm glad that you took the time, that you have the time to meet with me and talk about solutions, right?
Yes.
We're looking for handouts. We're looking for support so that we can continue this very important work. And so I wanted to start just getting a little bit of background from you.
Yes.
Anything about yourself that you'd like to share, but in particular, what is your history with LA South Bay? How did you come in contact with them? What effect have they had on your life personally?
Okay, so I came here in the US in 2015, 16, and I met Coach Mario when I was in 11th grade, 12th grade, and I was part of this soccer team. And he told me that I was really good, that I my skill could be used for other purposes. So I said, okay. So and he started um, coaching me about how to mentor kids through soccer, not only to teach them how to play soccer, but also help them with math homework and talk about daily things. But because most of these kids mostly are from a very uh, working class neighborhood, so they don't have this um, thing that I could call vision about them playing soccer and then going to school at the same time. So
Okay.
I and other kids of my class that we graduated, like Bridget, could tell you about how we had some interview with them and telling them that going to school was very important, also as playing soccer, and that you could do both no matter what. Yeah.
And how did working with Mario when he was your coach, how did that affect your life? Did he help you
Oh,
see something bigger than what you
yes,
were seeing before?
very, very, very much. Because I came here not knowing English at all, not one word, and
Uh-huh.
he helped me and understand that it would eventually take time to learn the language. That it's not
Right.
about, and I wasn't going to stay like with my broken English all all my 10 years of here, and he helped me
Uh-huh.
very, very, very much. He's a good man, basically.
And so it's been a while. So you've graduated from high school. You're about to graduate from USC, correct?
Yes, yes.
And what are you
Next
getting your
year.
degree in?
Uh,
Next year,
so
what are you?
I so I'm double majoring civil engineering and economics, and I
Wow,
just took some kind, and I am thinking on having a master in quantitative computational, like
wow, very good.
mathematics. Yeah.
Good, good. And so it's been a while since you worked with Coach Mario worked with you as a coach, but you
Yes.
stayed in touch,
Yeah.
and throughout the years. Why has it been important for you to continue working with LA South Bay?
I think LA South Bay in itself has helped me grow as a person. You
Hmm.
know, when you're helping people, you're not just thinking about yourself. You're thinking about the entire community and making an impact on kids that usually do not have this kind of impact. So it was very important to me to just go ahead and help more you do what is best.
So you wanted to give back, basically.
Yes, eventually.
Good. And at a personal level, what has the reward been for you from doing this work?
Personal level, it was very more emotional,
Okay.
rewarding. For example, I used to coach for uh, an elementary school and middle school at Manchester and Fifth,
Uh-huh.
and these kids were very, uh, let's say not very hopeful. They're like, oh yeah, let's go. What am I going to do with that all the day? And then I had to tell them that even though I came here late in this country, and you always had some hope eventually, because you have people that will inspire you every day, and you have to take chance of that, because not everyone has the possibility to have it. So eventually.
And you know, in the work, what kind of work do you do? When you work with LA South, but you're a coach, mentor, both, or
I'll say
tutor?
both. I'll say
Hmm.
both. So basically, I was assigned as a coach, but
Uh-huh.
from an educational level, you have to see that as a coach, you also have to see the educational level, because
Uh-huh.
if the kid is not doing well at school and they're doing well at sport, the teacher is going to tell you that, and then
Yeah.
eventually you have to take some steps to tell them to get these grades first, and then think about soccer.
So once the teachers realize the influence that you have over the kids, they start reaching out to you to help influence them on their academic side.
Yes, yes,
Good,
eventually,
good.
yes.
You know, how many kids do you think you've worked with since you've worked with LA South Bay?
In total,
Yeah, more or less, just ballpark.
about 35 to between
35 kids.
35 and 40.
And what would you say has been like your impact on those kids? Do you think have you seen some success stories? Have they come back to you? Have you run across them at the street? Anything like that?
Actually, not from them, but mostly from their parents.
Oh, good. And what do they
Yes.
say?
I had one kid called it was Julio. He was
Uh-huh.
very good at soccer. You know, his foot was like gold. But when it's come with school, it was like, oh, what am I going to do with that? Can I just skip that class? So I was just like, no, not you. You have to know to open your option. You know, you're good at soccer. If you get into soccer, you get a scholarship, and you got a degree. So you have soccer and a degree. So even though one it's not working for you, you eventually will have the other.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh yeah. So basically opening my options. I was like, yes, opening your options, because you have to show them that they can do everything, and they have options all the way for them. It's up to them to choose and to see what will work best. So by opening their options, they have everything around it. So they be like, oh yeah, I can be this and I can be that. So if this is not working, I can still be this. So I was like,
Mm.
yeah, that's a good
So you give them a backup plan. They have a plan A, plan
yes,
B, and they can intermingle, right?
yes,
Good. And so that was in the past. And so let's talk a little bit about the present.
yes,
Uh, you were about to once again work with LA South Bay to continue this work, right? This spring.
yes, yeah.
And so how has the crisis affected the project in general?
Uh, it well, well, as you can see, it has been delayed,
Yeah.
and and then Mario told me to not be discouraged. You'll eventually find a solution for problem, because this is his stuff. He was find a solution, no matter
Okay.
what. And as of right now, I don't really know, and yeah, I am just waiting on Mario to tell me what to do,
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, no, and
basically.
that's what we're doing this for, is to try to find the funding so that you can find solutions.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit, what were your goals? I mean, you've been working on with LA South Bay to help with the kids. Did you have any particular goals you had for the kids this year? Something that you've learned from the past year you were going to do better or different this year?
I think it was basically the same thing. The only part that I wanted to have um more thought and will be how I, let's say, how I talk about possibility and options.
Uh-huh.
That was the problem that actually what happened. It's not basically the kids, it's more about the parents, how they feel about my feeling towards certain things.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yes. for,
so you oh, go ahead, sorry.
yes, it was for a example how I told kids to have option, educational and sports. Some parents are only focused on sports. And
Uh-huh.
they were like, no, you only have to play sports. And here I'm telling their kids that they have option. So
Right.
it's not correlating, and it creates problem. I think that's what I was wanting to work
So you
more
wanted to hit
on.
the parents first and get them in the
Yes,
right mindset to support what you were trying to do with the kids and open up
yes,
their mind, right? Because they maybe
yes,
they didn't see other options for their kids, and so that's why.
exactly.
That's great. No, that's a good strategy. Well, so here we are. We're stuck, and how has that affected you just at a personal level?
Personal level,
I
so
mean,
I
what has that done for you with school? I mean, with your
school
schooling.
school has become harder than ever because you have to have a certain you have to be an organized person because
Uh-huh.
the teacher usually just post um the test or the homework there and, and you have to be able to be like, okay, I'm going to do homework today and work tomorrow. It's more of an more basically you have to be very organized
You
right
have
now.
to, yeah, you have to self-manage yourself, right? Basically.
Yes.
And well, those lessons that you're learning from having to do that for yourself gets me to thinking about, so let's say we were able to get some funding to continue the work. What are your thoughts about what we could do with the kids so we can continue, you know, having the influence, talking to them about options and possibilities,
Mhm.
despite not having a soccer field to talk about that on?
Yes.
What any thoughts that you have around there?
Uh, based based on money, is
Uh-huh.
that what you're asking me?
Well, no, I'm saying if you had some funding, right? If so,
Yes.
right now you were going to get paid by doing the work with Mario, and I want to help you get paid to continue the work, but you're not going to have the face-to-face contact, the soccer field. Do you have any thoughts about what kind of a project you would like to deliver to the kids, or service that you deliver to the kids, without having the soccer field to do it on?
Oh, that's a
Do you?
difficult question.
Okay,
um,
well, and if you haven't thought about it just yet, Mario and I are thinking about it, right? I mean,
yes.
one of the things that I want to share with you, just real
Yeah.
quick. Give me 1 second.
Go ahead.
Have you ever seen one of these?
Dribble. Yes, I've seen it somewhere.
It's a smart
It's
ball. It's a smart ball, so it has a microchip in it. And
oh yeah.
the way that it works, the way that it works is you download an app that walks you through different drills. So dribbling drills, passing drills, very effective for those who stick
At
with the
home.
program. But it costs $90,
All
right?
right.
So as you know, our kids, the kids that we service, can't afford it, right? And so
Yes.
one of the things I want to do with this fundraiser is be able to equip all the kids with one of these. You would still manage the training, but they can do it, in a little 5 by 5 square area in their
Mm-hmm.
living room, or even in the driveway, the parking lot, the underground structure where people park their cars sometimes. But have a program that's actually structured, that's focused on development, not just choose this drill this day, that drill that day. And the way it
Mm-hmm.
works is your phone camera interacts with the ball, with the chip, through the app, and the better you run the drills, the higher score you get. And so it becomes a matter of competition. And I envision even, you being able to Zoom, with maybe a set of kids, 10 kids at the same
Mm-hmm.
time. If they all have the ball, you can train them, through online. You in your living room, them in their living room. I mean, so those are the kinds
That'd
of
be
things
great.
that we're looking to do. I mean, do you think you'd be on board with something like that?
Yes, absolutely.
Great, great, great. And the last thing I want to talk about then is, so you were going to earn some income, working with LA South Bay. Uh, so now you can't get paid. You're not getting paid, right?
Yeah, I'm not
And
getting paid right now.
Yeah, and how are you, how is that money going to help you just in general?
Um, so I started working with Mario, and it was for free,
Uh-huh.
basically. It started paying me later on.
Right.
So it wasn't really about the money, but
Uh-huh.
rather on how I was making an impact on these kids.
Okay.
And then I think funding stopped, something like that happened, and he had to close he had to stop with the program, which was very unfortunate.
Right.
So on matter of income, I will say what you guys can give me basically,
Right.
because it's not very much about the money.
Sure, and I just want to make it clear though. I mean, you do need money. You do need to
Yeah,
earn
I do,
income.
but like I do also know you guys do not have the funding right now,
Right.
so it's not in my place to ask
Well,
to
the
ask
last thing
something like
I
that.
would like to happen though, that I would want to happen is that you have to go find another source of income, and then you can't do the work with the kids. And so that's what we're aiming for. I mean, so it's about getting, the equipment, but also about being able to provide you with sufficient income. I know when we've talked in the past, you're going to
Hmm.
school full time, majoring in two subjects, and you had two jobs, right? And
Yes.
so uh, where do you find the energy? I don't know. Bless you, but I want to make sure that the viewers understand that the work you do is important. It's
Hmm.
precious.
Yeah, it
Uh,
is.
and so we'd like you to not have to even have a second job or, a first job, so you could do this with us all the time,
Correct.
and especially, believe me, I know what you're saying, having to do everything online takes a whole lot more time than taking for granted all those things that we assumed were always going to be there, right?
Yes.
Somebody to help you provide you a syllabus and a schedule, and you knew what you had to do. Now we have to do that all for ourselves. And the kids are going to have to do that for themselves too. And so there's a lot
As
of
well.
work to be done. And so, that being said, I just wanted to see, do you have any final words? I mean, the viewers hopefully are going to be not just donors, but the kids themselves, right? We want to get this to them. Anything you
Mhm.
want to say to them before we end this interview?
So I will say to the donors and the viewers as well to donate as much as they can, because the program is very vital. So if you donate about $5 or $10, it's in a family of five, it's already $50, which can actually be helpful. So please donate as much as you can, please. That'd be great.
And I'll piggyback on that. We're going for big donations from those who can afford it, and
Mhm.
small donations from anybody who can, instead of that chocolate bar, right, or that
Yes.
cup of coffee. I was yelling at my kids because they were drinking $5 cups of coffee, and I'm like, don't you guys
Starbucks.
understand that we don't have the resources to do that anymore? And so, but I think what matters the most to me, and I'll take advantage of this interview to share it with you and everybody else, is the quantity of people that get on board. It provides inspiration to myself, to all the people that I'm working with. If we just see that a lot of people care, and get on
Yes.
board and say, look, I'm giving you what little bit I have, but I believe in what you're doing for the kids.
Yeah.
And so, I think we can make some magic happen if we can encourage everybody to just not be embarrassed or afraid or think that their dollar is not going to make a difference. It makes a difference emotionally,
Well.
spiritually, and it'll bring the big dollars, and I think
Yes.
we can do some big things. So please join Laurence, myself, Coach Mario, in trying to continue bringing this service to the kids of Inglewood in particular, because that's where they work in. And they need it badly. Alrighty, so thank you, Laurence.
Thank
Any
you,
last
Carlos.
visitor? Thank you
Um,
very much. Uh,
yes.
let's go ahead. Go ahead.